Well, that's a great point. So that you bring up, Aaron, in terms of, if everybody's a leader, nobody's a leader. Well, that also means that you have to be able to follow. So a good, senior NCO, airman, whoever outside of that is, you need to know when you need to step up and whether it's take charge or whatever you want to call it, or you just need to shut up and okay, this person's got it. This person is running it. I am better served, or the mission or the organization or this task is better served if I just take in the communication, take in the instruction, take in the intent, and now I move out with it. Nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It was just, you're right. I got it. I agree. Nothing follows. This page left intentionally blank. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Good talk.
But yeah, I mean, there's different ways to be a follower too, though, right? Like there's doing exactly what you're told versus making stuff happen. There's taking initiative as a follower, which is very nice. As if you're in charge of something, if your folks below you take initiative to do what needs to be done, it's important. So like I get frustrated sometimes, like with the Hollywood depictions of military folks that are like, "Hey, all you go jump off that cliff." They're like, "Nah, hoorah, we're gonna jump off that cliff." It's like, no, that's not your job. Your job is to interpret, look for opportunities, all these other things. Just because you're a follower doesn't mean you're just sitting on your butt waiting for direct orders. We're not Europeans. We're not all the other military forces in the world that are so inflexible that they just don't do anything unless they're directly told because they're scared of their higher ups. Don't be scared of all the supervision chain. Find work and do it.
Boy, that was a spear chuck there, huh?
I mean,
that's from the classic quote. So I think it was like a French or a European dude basically was talking about the American fighting man. And he was like, "I've never seen anything like it. Everybody's huge. They all eat protein since the time they're like 2 years old. And in the absence of orders, they just attack. They don't need somebody to point them at a problem. They just coalesce. Little groups of paratroopers will look around and they'll just be like, "Hey, there's a bunker over there. I know Dad didn't say go kill the bunker, but looks like that bunker needs killing." And then they go do that.
But he was like, "Yeah, be real happy if we bring that bunker home with us."
Yeah,
see that.
Hey, I bet there's a bunch of weapons in there we could take home. He's going to be so proud of us.
So then, to that point, do we think that we are still fostering that kind of mentality?
I hope so.
Right. Yeah. I would hope so too. I think, we're so far. Trent now officially retired. Mr. Segmiller on the podcast.
I've been working on my beard for weeks. Can you tell?
It looks really good. Yeah. It's coming in really nice. I think that those, and that's always the hope, right? And again, there's so many parallels with, parenting and raising children and stuff. You hope that you never want to see people do things exactly the way that you did. You never want to see your exact plan go forth. You want to see a better version of yourself. You want to see, some of the things that you care about carried on in the next generation and other people doing it their way. And I think there's a ton of that going around today. I think there's a ton of people out there that are still leading hard and still being, accountable and being transparent and trying to learn as they go. I think those things are still happening everywhere. Like always, you get further and further away from a time period or further away from the team room that you were in, 15 years ago. And of course, it's going to look different. But I'm long on, AFSPEC war. I'm long on America in general. So I think that, a lot of the hemming and hawing and, worries about what's going on right now in the zeitgeist, I don't usually get too wrapped up into those. But, to answer your question directly, yeah, I think we are still leading hard and teaching, young leaders how to be good leaders. And I think as long as we continue to pour ourselves and our experience into that younger generation, whether it's through podcasts or, face-to-face mentorship or, phone calls or text messages, I think that that's still valuable. I think we're still doing that. So I'd like to say yes. And again, maybe that's just me being an idealist, but.
No, I didn't have any kind of, thought behind it in terms of like I've already got this in the back of my head. I think it's very relatable to the this next generation kind of thing, which I don't subscribe to. This generation is weaker, or we had it harder, or whatever. They're the product that we're getting is bullshit, because I don't agree with that. And I think that's still kind of that same question, if you will. It's just phrased differently, in terms of if we're still enabling, or if people coming in still have that kind of mentality is, hey, I don't need to tell you, just that building needs to be destroyed. Go destroy it.
Yep.